Oi, YouTubers, it is I, Hellgear, and welcome back to Snoopy's Town Tale. Did you guys enjoy this wonderful little coffee house event? If you did, or did not, uh, well, I really don't know what to say. So, I will talk about what, what interesting things were said. So, someone literally came up and said, "Hey, Hellgear, I read the comments about you wanting to do the quiet ambiance for this event, and I don't buy it. So, what's the real reason behind not saying anything for this coffee house event?" Well, I guess not having a simple just ambiance event was good enough. But if you must know, then I'll be real with you. Not being straight with you, I'm being real with you this time. And it's like this. Hold on, let me control my breathing here because I think I'm having an asthma attack. No, okay, false alarm. Good, good, good. So here's the thing. For this event, I wanted to put on the shoes of you, my viewers. And here's the thing. I've been doing Snoopy's Town Tale for 230 episodes. 231 if you count episode 0. Over the span of the last 8 years. And a good majority of people have said the main reason I come to the channel is for the Snoopy Town. So I decided to look that up. And I come to find out that 1/3 of my subscribers, 1/3, are here for Snoopy Town. 1/3 are here for the Smurfy stuff. And then 1/3 is here for the hodgepodge that is everything else on the channel. Crunching the numbers, it comes to 379 of you. 379 of my subscribers come for the Snoopy Town. And many of you, when you come, simply sit down, check the episode, and you don't say anything. Now, there are those few of you who do comment and say your piece, but the majority of the 300 of you don't. So I decided, let me walk in your shoes for a mile. Yes, I wanted to walk a mile in the viewer's shoes. And when it comes to this, I figured, you know what? Let me do that. Let me just come in here, treat it like it's a coffee house. Just come in, sit back, watch the show, not say a word. Just like if you were to go to a coffee shop. You go into the coffee shop, you'll probably hear some nice somber music for the calm ambiance. You go and you order whatever drink of hot beverage you like. And you sit down at the table and you sip away the clock. You just sip away the clock. And sometimes you're on your phone or your tablet or your laptop doing your thing as you sip away the clock. And I wanted to do that for one event. Just to see what you, my nonverbal viewers, the ones who don't want to say anything, the ones who don't interact with me, what it was like in your shoes. One of the hardest things about being a content creator is building a community with you, the subscribing and viewing faithful. But it's a difficult thing to do when the members of your community don't say anything, even if they have nothing to say at all. And it's not just this episode, but many episodes of Snoopy Town over the past 8 years have just been there is nothing to say from the community of viewers who watch this content. Most of the 379 of you don't say a word. Many of you choose not to say a word, as it requires effort to communicate. So, as I thought I would do that, I'd sip away the clock and think about why this is. And it goes back to what I said about this channel. In the About section, my way of describing things was, and still is, that gaming is the chicken soup for the soul. And I remembered that. This is like chicken soup for many of you. You come into this fine establishment that is known as my channel for soup because it's soul soup. And in that moment, an interesting situation appeared in my mind, putting the light bulb above my head. The light bulb didn't turn on, but I just put the light bulb over my head. And it goes back to this Mediterranean restaurant that I frequent and how there was soup on the menu, but I never see soup at all. Not so much as a ladle. And I ask when the soup is usually served. And he goes, when I serve soup, it was in the morning. But as of late, folks are not ordering the soup. So I asked him, the guy behind the counter, I was like, well, what kind of soup do you have? And he says he serves lentil soup. And I looked at him, had a quick chuckle. I was like, that's why you're not selling any soup. Like, nobody likes lentil soup. No wonder. Like, folks aren't going to eat that. What other soups can you do? I ask him. And he goes, I graduated culinary school. I can do any kind of soup. And I gave him the suggestion of, how about making some minestrone? People like minestrone. And that's when the light bulb came on over my head. That's when the light bulb just flickered. If me doing this for you is the chicken soup of the soul, it's like I'm running a soup restaurant. I got the blackboard menu like you see in the back of the scene right there. It's got all this type of soup. And then you, the viewer, comes in. And I'm standing there behind the counter. And you're coming in to order soup, but you don't say anything. You know, if there's one thing restaurateurs they can't stand is someone comes into the restaurant, they sit at the table, and you as a server, you give them a menu, you give them a cup of water to drink while they ponder the menu before they can order. And depending on the restaurant, if it's cold out, they serve you a cup of hot tea on the house. After a while, they'll come back and they'll be like, are you ready to order? And you go, no, I need a little bit more time. So they leave you alone, tend to the other tables in the resty. come back a couple minutes later to ask if you're ready to order, but you're still not ready to order. So they leave you be. And you're sitting there for a whole 10 minutes, but you don't order anything. You just sip from the cup of water and you sip away the clock. You're still nursing the first cup of water. You're just drinking it down, letting the ice melt, perhaps. So while they're busy bussing tables because you're still not ready to order, they finally look around and you're gone. And they're all like, where the hell did this guy go? Empty cup, menu on the table, no one in the bathroom, just up and gone. And then it went back to audit week. And this is where the light bulb flicks on and stays on. I had mentioned back then content creators only get 10% of their audience. And at the time, I was looking for 110 views because that was 10% of the subscriber count. Do you remember what I said on the number of views the Snoopy Town thing got during audits? Don't go back and check. I'm just going to tell you. It was 95 views. So I decided, since a third of my viewers are here for Snoopy Town, just for kicks and giggles, let me divide 379 by 3. Round it to the nearest whole number, that's 116 people. 10 more than the required views to kick around. So I decided, you know what? Just for the shits and giggles, let me slice this third of a pie and make it a quarter. So when I divided 379 by 4, I got 94.75, which rounds up to 95 people. I got 25% of 1/3 a percent. That's when the light bulb turned off. And then I thought to myself, what are all the situations where someone who goes to a soup restaurant and you're serving soup, like chicken soup mainly, on the blackboard? What are some of the similarities as why folks don't remember to like soup? And that's when the light bulb turned back on, going back to this dude about his lentil soup. And it's like, well, nobody likes chicken noodle soup. Perhaps they want or like chowder. Perhaps they like vegetable beef. Maybe there's some of them that like split pea. And then another light bulb comes above my head and turns on. So I have two light bulbs on above my head. And it gives me the other situation. And that situation is the people aren't hungry. They just don't want any soup. Some will also flip the other coin and say, well, maybe they're afraid to ask for soup. And often I've said, don't be afraid to leave a comment. And I meant that. I still mean that. So now I look at Snoopy Town for this 230th episode. How I went through this event, sipping away the clock. And something interesting came up. Apparently, the viewers don't like that. You, the viewers, do not like when I just sip away the clock, when I put on your shoes, come for Snoopy Town, and not interact at all. That's what commentary is when a content creator does their vocalizing through one of their little episodes of their plays. It's the content creator, the YouTuber, you know, the host, interacting with you, the viewer. So I said to myself, let me wear the viewer's shoes, come, not interact, and see what happened. And I learned a lot from this. I also learned a very important thing when it comes to this series. When it comes to the chicken soup. And that thing is this. When it comes to the chicken soup, known as Snoopy's Town Tale, viewers are going to do one of two things when it's over. They're either going to leave a bowl or just leave. And it goes back to the restaurant metaphor. The guy didn't want to order anything, he just wanted a cup of water, and then he left. And that's a very interesting piece to know. So now I'm thinking to myself, who's going to leave a bowl? This lets me know about the soup. I wonder how many bowls I'll get. I really do wonder how many bowls I'll get. By the way, this is the reason why you're getting this episode early. It's because I'm already done with the event. I finished the event in the middle of the night last night. I just didn't put down the last two parts at the event. So I think I'll do that now. And as I look at all the various ways you can watch, people can watch these on watch these episodes on YouTube from a computer, from a phone, from a tablet. All these different ways to watch. Which means there are all these different ways to get my question answered. And it's going to be fun to see who leaves a bowl and who leaves. Where's that other place? That other piece? I have to put that down. I got to put those down too. And that. Wonder who's going to leave me a bowl.